Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and today we're going to go over part 3 of my book collection. I sure hope you're enjoying this collection or this series of videos. I have really enjoyed getting to go back through all of my books and explore how my tastes have changed and look at some of my finished pictures, and I hope you are as well. Now, there are a few series of books in this collection, like Matchstick Mouse, but it's also a lot of one-off kind of books. So sit back and relax, and let's have fun. Okay, next up is this beautiful Korean book. I believe it says Tales of the Forest Girl. Tales of the Forest Girl by Ida Chiaki. Now I'm sure I'm doing that no justice. Let me back you out just a little bit so we can expand. Now what these are postcards. So there's like 2 postcards, and then this is what the back looks like. So little spots for decoration, stamps, and whatnot. And then there's 2 of each image. The paper is nice quality. It's like an eerie paper. And then as you get to the back, there are some smaller ones. So I don't know that they're postcards, but there's some little cards in there. But anyway, these are just little postcards to color. Okay, next up is Friendship. Let me zoom you out and get the whole book in. This is by Rachel Mintz. I really enjoy her. These are grayscale. Now, I had bought her digital book. It's like 101 grayscale cute images or something. And so these are all in that. So I have printed them out to color. But then someone gave me this, I think for Christmas maybe, and they're just so cute. Next up is another book by Rachel Mintz. So I was given both of these, and these have similar images. These have a little more grayscale, and they're not exactly the same characters. Of the 2, my preference is the Friendship one, but that being said, they're both adorable. They're both grayscale, but she definitely has some digital work too that you can download if you prefer to not work on the Amazon paper. But there's that. And I would show you the ones I've colored, but for the life of me, I cannot find. I have a little folder with all of my individually colored things, and I don't know where it is right now. And to be fair, I have a lot of books spread out around. It could be under one of them. Next up is The Art of Coloring. This is Disney's Villains. And I really like a lot of the images in this book. So a lot of, just fun little Disney books. Now they are double-sided, so, you can't really use your alcohol markers, but I just think they're delightful. Because let's face it, the villains are always really fun, not fun, but yeah, kind of fun characters, right? They're exaggerated, they're extreme, and they usually have like hilarious faces on them. Now, I'm not a sinister person, but I can enjoy it for what it is, and so I really like this book. Okay, next up is Morgana Sky's Sweet Autumn Coloring Book. I bought this last year to color around this time and have not. There are some adorable little images in here. This would be a really good book for anyone that has trouble with the smaller details, because it is a little bit larger scaled book. You can see like the pumpkins are this big instead of this big, which to me is a nice palette cleanser once in a while. But look at these cute little images, right? And then there's a small picture of each of the pages in the front. So you could, you know, if you wanted to tackle something small, you could. So anyway, a really cute book. Next up is one I just couldn't pass up. I grew up with Dr. Seuss. Absolutely love it. This is a beautifully done book in terms of, I love the gold or the color changing foil. It says 45 illustrations to color, and it's just images from his books. Maybe not directly, but the characters are there, right? The Horton Hears a Who and the Lorax and the, you know, all of the different ones, red fish, blue fish, and one sock, two sock, and all of that. So I just couldn't pass it up. It's not really my style in terms of, I don't normally love images like this. I tend to like more focal pointy type of images. But like I said, it's more for the nostalgia of it all. When you get to be my age, sometimes you have nostalgia for those kind of things. This one is Colors of Daydreams by Nicolette Defray. And her stuff is very cute. It reminds me a little bit of Joanna Basford type of style. It is a little bit larger format. It's probably 12 by 9 or something like that. I like that she has some smaller images in here as well. Well, some of these images are just adorable. I gotta say, this is a book that it doesn't scream, color me right this minute. So this is gonna go in my maybe pile. And like I said, sometimes I just have to see images colored, and then it helps jumpstart me and kind of light a fire in me for a book. This one is called The Night Voyage. It's a magical adventure and coloring book. Now, this book is a story with no words. So it tells a tale. And there's an index at the back of all the different pages. I have seen some beautifully done pages. Some of them can be a little overwhelming. It can be a lot. But I'm definitely keeping this book, and this is a book that I think would be done, I think it would be cute to be done with the same color palette in it. So pick a specific color palette and like maybe something like a pan pastel for the backgrounds so that, you know, you're not coloring for weeks. But it does have gold foiling. It's a very beautiful book. She has 2 other ones as well. I don't have either one of them. Okay, here's one of my favorite books. Mr. Benny Blue by Kristen Karen. Absolutely adored this book. I love Benny Blue. I'm sure you're well aware, so let's just take a look at the ones I've colored. So here's All You Can Eat, Kiss the Cook. I did all of these last year. Beach, Get Well Soon. So this one I did let's see, Prisma. I think Avazard London. I didn't write it down. But, pretty sure I did both of these at the same time. Avazard London here. Luminance pencils here. Avazard London here. Avazard London here. And that's it for the ones that I've done. I adore this book. It's definitely not going anywhere. Okay, next up, this is called the Vintage Poster Collection Coloring Book, 65 Classic Posters to Color. So this is just like posters that came out when the movies came out. And I thought it was really fun. I haven't colored any in here, but I think I will, because they're really cute. I mean, here's the thing. I kind of grew up with Disney like on Sunday night. So I do like Disney. Am I a total freak about it? No, but I do like them. Okay, this one, remember the duck one that I said had a storybook? Same author and publisher, illustrator, whatever. I doubt I will be coloring this book. It is an actual storybook, but oh my word, look at all the detail. And so there's a part of me that's like, well, take it on. But because, I mean, some of these are very easy, but some of these are a lot. So this is on my maybe pile. But I do like storybooks to color. So I think it's going to be on the keep for now pile. All right, next up is Draglings. These guys are adorable. When they first came out, or when I first got this book, I was like, have to have it, want to color in it. It's fantastic. And you know what happens? It gets set aside, and then, you know, the next thing pops up, and, you know, squirrel. It's absolutely adorable, though. So definitely a keeper for me. You should see my office right now, y'all. It is a train wreck. Okay, this book is the best. It's John Bigwood's A Million Christmas Cats. The only place I've been able to find this is like the random eBay. Once in a while, Amazon will have it through a used bookstore. But if you can get your hands on this book, it is so cute. Look at these cats. I may do something with this in December. Okay, next up is a group of coloring books that I'm guessing the majority I will be destashing. This one is an interesting one. It says 101 Flowers Coloring Book. Somehow it got bent, so I'm going to have to try and flatten it out. But what I like about this book is that it's got a nice depiction of flowers. So if I'm working in a book and I'm trying to figure out what the flower is, sometimes I can flip through this and find the flower and then go, oh, okay, it's a forget-me-not, and then go look and see how to color it. I'm not convinced this isn't AI, but I mainly got it for for what I just said, you know, so that I could look up the flowers. And I think it would look really pretty. It's a nice, pretty straightforward design to actually color it. So I am going to try and, I'll probably heat it and then put it under a ton of books and let it sit for a while. So I'm going to keep that one. Next up is this one, 101 Mandalas. Now I got this at a thrift store and it was like half off and they had it priced at $4, so it was $2. And I thought, well, I think I'm gonna get it because I like to test things, and so I use this, the Art of Mandala, to do my tests. And I say, okay, what if I lay down gesso? Then will it bleed through? What if I use fixable, workable fixative? You know, all the different, and who knows? I have all kinds of, I think this one, my mom was testing out different things to see if she liked the feel of pencils. So I use this book just mainly for my little tests. So I think I'm going to keep that one as well. Okay, next up is this one. I got this last October-ish, thinking that these would be kind of cute to color for Halloween. I don't know. If this was like maybe one picture was like this, then maybe. The problem is they're all kind of samey. Yes, they're different, but am I ever going to color in that? No. So this is in my stash. Next up is this one. I saw Elena Colors or something like that. She has a really big channel, and I really like her work, and I saw some of her work in this book. And so then I bought it because it really does look really cool when you've colored it, right? But I'm just not like that. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the eyeball thing. I'm not easily creeped out like spiders. I can kill my own spiders, but I don't know. The eyeball thing just kills me. And all of them have like those really creepy eyes. So this is another one I will be destashing. Next up is this one, 101 Incredible Patterns. I don't know. I think if you were to color this, it could look really amazing. The print quality is total crap. Like, look at all the lines. Come on, Amazon. If you're going to print books, at least replace your printer ink when you need to. So it's just not well made. And for all I know, that's the artist thing. It says Blvd Press. Like I said, I think you could make these pretty, but this book is not for me. Stained glass mandalas. Now, I will probably keep this one. I would like to play around with the concept of stained glass, and so I'm going to keep this one. And they're one-sided, so I can use markers if I want. So that is a keep. Next up is Chaos, Satisfying Patterns coloring book. I think I got these a really long time ago. There is a part of me that enjoys just coloring different patterns, rainbow hues. I think that this could be beautiful when it was done. Right now, in my coloring world, I have way too many awesome books and not enough time. I really don't see myself doing anything in this book. So it is on the bye-bye pile. Next up is this book. It's called Bloom. I got this one from Hobby Lobby, and it has velvet pages in it. So this right here is velvet. Now they're not all velvet, because here's the exact same picture with just paper. But some of these do have velvet. And I thought, well, that would be kind of cool. But obviously not cool enough that I'm like itching to get into it. Also, it's all flowers, and you've heard me talk. So this is in the stash. This one's called Hidden Feathers, and it talks about how birds use their plumage or whatever to camouflage themselves, right? And here's the kiwi bird, the penguin, and so these birds are kind of camouflaged in here. And, you know, this could be fun. It's just really not for me. Next up is Enviroscapes. And bear in mind, some of these I got years and years ago. Some of them I picked up on a whim. I don't think any of these were gifted to me. But this one, once again, it's you know, this is in 2000. So, yeah, it's an older book. There was a time when I was really into Zentangle. So, next up is this book. It's called The Beauties of Nature. Now, this was a gift from my grandkids. And I like that it has, what did Jackson say? It was like a cheater image or something. I can't remember what he said. But, you know, you can take inspiration or not. So I will be keeping this. If nothing else, then to be able, like for reference photos for birds and different things and flowers, there are some, you know, really pretty examples that you could take inspiration from. So this is a keep. This one, when I first got it, this is also from my grandkids. I was really excited because I thought, oh, I love the national parks. I am not a fan of this kind of coloring book style. I'm like, is this a sketch? Like I'm supposed to watercolor? Am I supposed to, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. So I'm going to put this in my maybe pile. It's always hard for me, like when my grandkids give me something, because it's like, it's from them. But the reality is I'm probably never going to color in this. So it's definitely going on a maybe pile. Okay. Next up is this book. Now, y'all know I am like 3 or 4 pages from finishing the Thomas Kincaid's Disney, the other book. I don't have it. I think it's out by my couch. But it's essentially exactly the same, only it has a little bit different images. Now, some of the images are very close. And then some, like this one, are completely different. This one is very similar to another one. The other one has this image. It has these same people, but this has like the top water showing. There's Beauty and the Beast. So it's this one. That looks identical, actually, that image. that looks identical because I just colored that one last night or the night before last. And so there are some, yep, and that one too. There are some duplicates, and then there are some, yep, that's a duplicate. But that one is totally different. So, does it say? No. This says it came out in 2020. This is definitely a keep for me. I am not going to jump into it right away because I've picked a couple other couch books, but definitely keep that because I do enjoy coloring in this style of book where you have the inspiration on the side. This one is Thomas Kincaid's Painters of Light. It's by Posh. It is essentially the same thing, except for it's Thomas Kincaid paintings. And, okay, so holy cow, that's a whole nother level of can we do it? So this is definitely on the keep pile, but probably not going to work in it for a while. Okay. Next up is Sea of Colors by Angela Gonzalez. Now, I enjoy coloring things under the sea. This book, though, I mean, it's super cute. And I do like the size. But I am feeling the need to let a few books go, and I think this one's definitely going on the maybe pile. I may end up keeping it, but I have a feeling it's going to go. Now, this is the same illustrator. I like this one a lot better. This is the doggy one. What's it called? Doggy Doodles. This one I can see myself working in more. It's Ellie approved. But I just think that the images are cuter. So this one is a keep for me. Okay, I found another hardback book. It's called The Quackling. It's actually a storybook. So there's actually a story. And then you can color it. There is a book, I believe, online that you can look at to get inspiration. Because I think you can buy it as an actual book as well as, could I get you centered? As well as a coloring book. But the images, there's some grayscale. And some of them are a lot of grayscale here and then hardly any there. But it's on my list to do for the grandkids. I don't know if they're going to like all the books that I color. Next up is Garden and Goddesses by Mitzi Sato Wolf. Now, this is an older book. The copyright is 2011. I have colored quite a few in here, and I used my Copic watercolors, or alcohol markers, sorry. So in 2015, I colored this one. So, yeah, that was quite a while ago. I do like how they turned out. For the most part, there's, I believe, one in here that I'm not very happy with. But overall, I really enjoy this book, and I think this is the one I don't really like. I wonder what would happen if I went back now with, like, colored pencils. But more than anything, I'm just not a fan of my color scheme. I think it's the wings. I don't know. I don't like the red, purple, green, yellow, like, I don't know. It's not a fan of the page. And I'm not sure what this mark is here. It looks like alcohol stain, but I have no idea, but I don't like that one. And here's a whip. I started it and just never got back to it. And I've been doing these in order, so I haven't done any of these. Now, her stuff is fantastic. I do have some digital stamps where they've created these in a digital format. But I really like this book, and I will definitely be keeping it. I don't know if you can even get it. Like I said, 2011. Okay, next up is the Best of Pop Manga. Images like this, I absolutely adore. And I could see myself coloring. Not as much like things like this. I don't like the busy backgrounds. I don't like her creepy stuff. Like, this is okay to me. I love Halloween, and I used to Halloween up with the best of them. And something like that, I'm okay with. But you've heard me say it, I don't like the third eyeball kind of things. In general, I'm not one that likes to color gore or that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. So if you enjoy that, like, have at it. But I think I'm going to keep this book because there are some really cute images. See the third eyeball? I would have to totally like white it out. But her sweet face, and there's another one in here. There's another mermaid that I'm just like, is so beautiful. I mean, I love this one. The little guy's carrying like a mushroom, and he's got a little snail as his pet, I guess. But I don't know. Like, they're just... It's a keeper, though. Okay, next up is Mystery Island. This is an interesting book. This book, you are supposed to... see how she shows each page? You color each page, and then you put them together as a puzzle, and it creates a bigger image. It creates this image. See how it's like a whole, like a village? Now, I'm well on my way. I did one whole page. And look, I got impatient and shut my book, so that's why there's like all of my white got over here. But I can't remember which pencils I used. Might have been Color Soft pencils. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if there's a color along on the channel. It's a cute little book. So I think I'm going to keep it. Because, I mean, I do enjoy the cute critters. Okay, next up, this book is fairly new to me. This is called Alice in Wonderland. I am not 100% if Max Brenner did this AI or not. So far, I haven't noticed any weird things. There are some really unique images in here. Like, I really like this page. I could see myself coloring that page. I even like that one. That's a beautiful page. That would be stunning if it was done. The horse is a little scary. But, I mean, some of these images just really appeal to me. Even this one. Like, snakes are kind of creepy, but I can picture this page colored in my mind. She is beautiful there. Just stinking cute. I even like the Mad Queen. So some of these pictures really appeal to me, and I think you could have a lot of fun with them. And some of them are just whimsical and beautiful. But, like, look how stunning this could be. Like, can you picture this with the green and then her face peeking out with maybe kind of a golden brown hair. I can and very dynamic eyes, like maybe like vibrant green eyes or something. I can picture these things. Look at how fun that little image is. So this is definitely on my keep. And this is that weird feeling book. You know, it's not velvet, but it's something. I think I'm going to save my matchsticks. Oh, and do them all at once. Okay, Mouse Guard. I searched high and low for this book for a really, really long time. And you can find these for like hundreds of dollars. But I just had to have it. I had to. So I kept looking and I found it like on Thrift Books or Abe Books or something. I can't remember. Like one of those used bookstores. You can see this one was colored with colored pencil. So I just went in and erased. And this is the only page that had any markings or flaws at all. The rest of the book is pristine. So I was thrilled. And I erased that enough that I could totally color over that and you would never know. Plus they didn't color it some ridiculous color. I'm probably going to color it green, gray, brown. And so I think it's going to work out fine. But so this is definitely a never get rid of book. Okay, next up is Peter Pan. This is Fabiana Attanasio, and this is the book I was telling you I really love, like her illustrations. Remember the golden, or the Coloring Heaven book that I got? Well, this is one that's just specifically Peter Pan. Like, look at their little faces. I mean, they're just adorable. I've colored one in this one, and I like how it turned out. It's this page right here, Miss Tinkerbell, and I put Pan Pastel, Stickles, Iridescent Medium, and Avazar London pencils. I love it. I really like Tinkerbell, and I think she turned out so stinking cute. That won't be the last page I color in that book. Next up is Fairy Tales by Emily Lydhall Oberg. So when I couldn't get the original Sagar Oxagner, I got this book by her. And I gotta say, it has some really adorable images in it. Let me back out just a little. I like her style very much, and I will definitely be working in this book. The paper looks good. It's more ivory than white, but I will definitely be coloring in this. Next up is The Magical Christmas. Now this is by Lizzie Mary Cullen, and it's kind of an interesting book. I got this because I really like the magical city, but to be honest, I don't know how much I like the magical Christmas. So I am going to look online and see if I can get inspired, see some stuff, but it's definitely on the maybe pile right now. So that being said, here is The Magical City, and I do like this page, or this book, and I will color in it for sure. The only thing I don't like is I got this used because it was one that was hard to find too, and it has a slight like perfumey kind of smell. If it's sitting on the bookshelf, I don't smell it at all. And if it's laying open like this, I don't really smell it. But when I flip through the pages and it wafts, I get just a hint of it. And I think it was in somebody's house or something where they used a lot of incense or perfume or whatever, and it got onto the book. Not enough that I'm worried about it. This is called A Steambook Coloring Book Mystery, The Search for the Light Bulb Burglar. Now, this is high quality, one-sided, perforated, premium art paper. I like this book a lot. Some of the images are like, okay, maybe I wouldn't color that one. But some of these I think could be really cool. Like this one. I feel this tells a story. And so I feel like it's something that you gotta appreciate for the storyline. Now, what's interesting to me is the first time I bought this book, I bought it and it was an 8.5 by 11 Amazon book. And for the life of me, I have no idea where it is. My guess is one of these days I'm going to open up a luggage bag or something and find it, because I have no idea. So I ordered it again and I ended up with this book. But it's a neat story, right? And some of these images are quite cute. But yeah, it was a little different than I was expecting. But I think some of these could be very fun to color. And it's a very nice quality book. Okay. I have 3 Lulu Mayo books. All of these are untouched. So we'll start with A Million Cute Animals. And I do like the smaller format. I do like the cute. I have heard that this paper can be difficult. It is a smoother paper. Some of the images appeal to me very much, and others not so much. But I'm going to keep it. This is A Million Dogs. Some of these I absolutely adore, because I love me some puppies. But like other things, like neither one of those appeal to me at all. To be fair, I was a little disappointed in this book, because I really thought I was gonna like it like so much, because I saw like an image like this and I think that is fantastic. I think it would be so fun. But then I don't like that image at all. So it's a very quirky book for me in what I like and what I don't like. Because I don't like this page, but I do like that page. You know? So for now, it's a keeper. This is A Million Sea Creatures. And if I remember right, I bought all 3 of these at once. At like a Michael's or something like that. They might have been having a 20% off sale or something. Some of these are cute. Those are cute. I don't know. Like, once again, this book has... This one I think I would like more than even the dog one. I feel like there's more pages I like, but less that blow me away. So like the ones in the dog book that I really like, they like blow me away. These are like more my style appeal, but none of them really blow me away. Okay, this is Little Bunny's Book of Friends. Now, if you've been on the channel, you know I colored Little Bunny's Book of Thoughts, the entire book, as a gift for my cousin. And I mailed it to her, so I can't show it to you. Sorry, I had to put my dog in her spot. But I bought this one thinking I would do the same. And it is an adorable book. I love it so much. I mean, the little guy is just so stinking cute. But this paper is almost like brochure paper. It's very glossy. Not glossy like shiny, but like glossy like it has a coating on it. And so I think that the only way, here's the Little Bunny's Book of Thoughts. I think the only way that I could do that would be to spray it with fixative or gesso it or something like that. Honestly, I think that markers would probably bead up on it. So I'm definitely keeping this book, but it's going to take some experimentation in order to color in it. Okay, next up is Yoga Animals So Cute. And I remember distinctly talking about this book. It is a hard book to find. I found it in a Michael's store. And what year was this? Did it come out? 2022, so it's not that old of a book. But, so what it is it's got these little animals doing yoga. Like, I just can't with it. It's so funny to me. I am not a yoga person, so I don't really, like I don't do yoga. I should do yoga, but I don't do yoga. But these little critters just crack me up. They just do. You know, the cat doing the downward dog just slays me every time. But I think this would be a really fun book to do with markers because it is one-sided. The paper is of good quality, at least in thickness. It is a little on the smooth side, but very fun. Okay, next up is Enchanted Faces, Mermaids, Fairies, Fantasies, pocket-sized coloring book. This is my only Hannah Lynn, which I heard you, some of you gasped out loud that I could not have any Hannah Lynn. But, you know, it's really for people that like to do a lot of faces and hair, which I don't mind doing, but it's not necessarily my favorite. I did do this one. I had just got these Posca pencils, and so I wanted to try them out. And I love the Posca pencils. They're a very fast-moving, soft pencil. I might even say softer than Prismacolor. But there's only 24? I think there's only 24 pencils. Not a lot, for sure. But when I work with them, I don't feel like I'm really lacking any of the basic colors. And you can see you can do great work with it. But, well, relatively speaking, you might not find that great. I just mean that, you know, it lays down a lot of pigment. But this is a cute little book when I just want a little side project. A palette cleanse, so to speak. Okay, next up is R.J. Hampson's A Frog's Tale. I love this little frog so much. He's so cute. I did this one with Cezanne colored pencils. Definitely struggled to get rid of the white. I did do a lot of layers, so I was a little disappointed. I could use a Gamsol or a colored pencil blender, but I didn't, and I'm okay with that. This was also early on. This is January 2023, which is the month I started this channel. So I will say there's a in these books. There's a duplicate. So the second set of pages begins here. So each, like this little frog playing the drums, if I look at the very back, there should be Wendy, are you struggling? Yes. A page here, the exact same page, same scale, same size. You either love that or hate it. I don't mind it because maybe I'm looking at this motorcycle one and I'm saying to myself, oh, I wish I would have made that bike green. Then I have another page in which to do that. Or maybe I want to add some clouds or whatever the case may be. You have that option. And his books are really reasonable, so I don't feel like you're being denied anything. But that is a personal, opinion. Sadly, this is the only R.J. Hampson that I own. I will be probably remedying that because I do like his illustration style and his images. And there's been a couple that have been put in my cart, put back, put in my cart, and put back multiple times. So, next up, let's do Matchstick Mouse. This is another illustrator. I really like his style. This is the Christmas book, and it is a storybook. And I was really excited to get this because if you're new to my channel, last year at Halloween, I did Matchstick Mouse's pumpkin party coloring book. And I literally colored every page in it as a color along in the month of October. And I enjoyed it very much. This paper has a little bit of a texture, or like it's a little slicker. And I'm not sure how the pencils are going to lay down on it. So I may do a little test on it and see what I think, and like maybe color back here and just see how I like the mediums on it. And then I may color this one for my grandson because that's what I did with the other one. And my goal was to show you that book because it is a completed book. But if you look on the channel, Matchstick Mouse Pumpkin Party or something like that, there's a whole playlist for it. Next up is the winter book. Now I haven't colored anything in this. I got this, I want to say like the middle of the year this year. And so I'm just waiting for a little colder weather to give this one a go. I absolutely enjoy doing the Matchstick Mouse. I just think he's a lot of fun, and he is simple enough that you don't feel overwhelmed, and yet you can add details, you can play with different mediums. There's so much you can do, right? So that's the Winter Tale. Next up, Matchstick Mouse's Christmas book. Now the other one is a storybook. This is just Christmas images, right? And they might very well be the same images. I don't know. But these are little Christmas images, and I did this page. I want to say it was a hashtag on Instagram. But there's some really adorable pages, and I'll probably work in this one as it gets closer to Christmas as well. Okay, next up is Matchstick Mouse Floral Coloring Book. Now this is a book that I used when I was doing a series called Wind Down Wednesday, and it's on my channels under, I believe it's under Beginner Series / Wind Down Wednesday. And what I did was each week I would talk about one medium. So this week I talked about ink tints, and I talked about how to use ink tints, how to activate it, what to be careful of, the colors that are available, all the things about ink tints. And this is the image that I colored using nothing but ink tints. Next up is, this was all colored with Tammet gel pens. So I had, once again, an entire video on how to blend with them, how to color with them, how to use glycerin and different things like that. So that is on there. And then let's skip ahead here. This one was colored with Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. So each image is only one medium. I will say I think I cheated and I went around the clouds with white Posca and put a couple of highlights, but the actual image itself was done with watercolor. And I talk about, once again, there's a Wind Down Wednesday for watercolor. Each one of the things, so I don't sound like a broken record, is on the Wind Down Wednesday / Beginner Series. This one was colored entirely with distressed ink. This one entirely with Neocolor 2s. Not my favorite usage for Neocolor 2s, small little images like this, but I wanted to show you it can be done. This one was done using pan pastels. Once again, you can color an entire image using pan pastels. Not usually the way I use them most often, but it can be done. And then this one was done using Mungio oil pastels. Once again, oil pastels is not my favorite medium to use in coloring books, but it definitely can be, and you can get some cool looks from it. But anyway, this is that book, and there's some adorable images in here, and I will continue to work in this book. Okay, next up is Woodland Wild Pocket Coloring. This is by Millie Murata, and I got this book thinking it would be, you know, fun because it's so small, right? It's like smaller than my hand. However, I wasn't really thinking about the fact that she was going to shrink an entire book into, what, a 6-inch by 6-inch square. So there's some tiny stuff in here. I think if you're really into details, this would be a fun one. This is probably going on my maybe or give a, you know, not keeping pile. I think I would stress a little too much. Okay, I have 3 other Millie Murata's books. This is Secret of the Sea. And now the gift to these is you can segment them out, or, you know, like in this bird, you could cover each one of these things individually, or you can just color them normally, right? Like you would any other line art. So it gives you a lot of play. This is not my favorite of her 3, but I do like underwater images in general. Next up is Animal Adventures. I have seen some really beautiful work with the mandala styles of hers. And her books in general. I like this one better than I do the Under the Sea, to the point I might even consider, I might consider putting the Under the Sea on the maybe. Yeah, I think I might. Guys, not to say that there's anything wrong with those books at all. It's just, in my opinion, I like to collect. I'm not one of those people that only wants 20 books and I'm only going to color in those 20. And then when I'm done with that, then I buy another one. That being said, I'm not a collector where I want 500 books either. So I want something large enough that I can have lots of choice. And also not have so much that I just don't even know what to color because I have so much. And somewhere under 200 is that number. I'm just kidding. I'll tell you at the end how many I have. Okay, this is the one I did in this book. This is, I did this with distressed ink for the backgrounds, then the water technique. I take that back. This is Distress Oxide, which I personally prefer. I shouldn't say I prefer it, but for coloring, I feel like in some ways it's easier. The downside to using oxides is if you're coloring over, let's say I was coloring these leaves with it, it has a pigment, so it will go over your black lines. If you color with distress ink, your black lines, it's transparent, and so the lines pop through it. Does that make sense? It's not so pigmented that you couldn't color these and you would obscure the lines completely, but you may feel the need to add your lines back because it's not covering them 100%. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I will say oxides blend easier, so like for backgrounds. But they do have a little bit more of a muted look. Now here, you can see I used a lighter color, so don't confuse this lighter with like the pigment. This, I feel like I'm not making sense about any of this. There's a full color along on the channel where I hopefully make more sense. Here I use Prismacolor, and I really like how this page turned out. Okay, next up is Bramley Hedge by Jill Barklum. Now, this is an adorable book. It is an actual storybook. The paper is of good quality. It's an off-white, almost like ivory beige. The images are delightful. I encourage you, if you're interested in it all, there is a flip through, and I also talk about Jill and how she came to create these characters and their little home and her story. So it is on the channel. Alright guys, that's going to do it for book collection 3. I have, I think, 2 more sets of videos for you coming up, so I've really enjoyed seeing you on Saturdays. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like adult coloring content, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you enjoy adult coloring content, please consider subscribing. You can now find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I welcome all comments and suggestions. Don't forget to like the video before you go. And until next time, take care.